So today, I'm going to walk you through how Stoicism helps with anxiety in our modern world, not with fluffy platitudes, but with real principles, 10 of them, that you can start living by today. By the end, you'll have a fresh perspective on how to handle worry, fear, and the relentless pace of life. So pour yourself a cup of tea, or hey, if you're feeling rebellious, a double espresso, and let's dive in. Seneca once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Think about that. How many of your anxious thoughts are about things that might happen, could happen, or should have happened? In 2025, anxiety has endless fuel. Will AI take my job? What if I can't keep up with bills? What if I say the wrong thing online? The Stoics teach us to separate what's in our control from what isn't. You can't control the economy, but you can control your spending habits. You can't control if people misinterpret your post, but you can control the integrity of what you write. You can't control the future, but you can control your preparation and your mindset. Once you really grasp this, anxiety loses a big chunk of its power, because suddenly, you stop wrestling with the entire universe and focus only on what's actually in your hands. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same reason you use today." Erase the truth. Most anxiety is a mental time machine. We rocket into the future, imagining disasters, or we replay the past, regretting what we can't undo. But Stoicism calls us back to the now, this very breath, this very moment. So the next time anxiety grips you, ask, am I in the present, or am I time traveling? Because right now, in this second, chances are, you're okay. And if you can learn to ground yourself in the present, through breathing, observation, or simply noticing what's around you, you've already taken the first step toward calm. Here in 2025, uncertainty is the new oxygen. Jobs change overnight. Markets swing wildly. Technology moves faster than we can process. No wonder anxiety is off the charts. But Epictetus offers this gem. Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do happen. Anxiety thrives on resistance. We want the world to be predictable, safe, stable. But the Stoics knew that life is chaos. You can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf. When you accept that uncertainty is the rule, not the exception, something shifts. Anxiety becomes less of a personal failure and more of a universal truth. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start saying, "This is simply how life flows. I'll meet it with strength." Erase a Stoic reframe for you. What if anxiety is actually a form of training? Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor strengthens the body." Think of every anxious moment like a mental gym session. When your chest tightens before a presentation, that's life spotting you with the heavier weight. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's hard. But every rep builds resilience. Instead of asking, "Why am I anxious?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Maybe it's teaching patience, maybe courage, maybe humility. Anxiety becomes less of an enemy and more of a mentor in disguise. Now let's get practical. One reason anxiety is worse in 2025: information overload. Your nervous system was not built to handle 1,000 headlines, TikTok clips, Slack notifications, and financial worries before breakfast. The Stoics were minimalists of the mind. Marcus Aurelius warned himself against filling his soul with noise. So erase the challenge. Practice digital stoicism. Unfollow accounts that fuel comparison. Limit doom scrolling. Choose carefully what enters your mental diet. Because just as junk food wrecks your body, junk information wrecks your peace. This one might sound counterintuitive, but stick with me. The Stoics used a tool called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. That means picturing what could go wrong: your laptop breaking, losing your job, even mortality itself. Why? Because anxiety thrives on the unknown. But when you calmly imagine worst-case scenarios, you strip them of their terror. You realize, yes, it would hurt, but I would survive. I could adapt. Ironically, by facing your fears in your mind, you soften anxiety's bite in reality. In a world addicted to likes, views, and followers, anxiety skyrockets when our worth is tied to approval. Epictetus reminds us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Read that again. Be content to be misunderstood. Be content to not please everyone. When your peace depends on public opinion, you'll always be anxious. But when your worth comes from your values, your integrity, and your actions, you become untouchable. So the next time you post something and obsess over reactions, pause. Ask yourself, did this align with my values? If the answer is yes, then you've already won. This one might feel heavy, but it's powerful. The Stoics often meditated on death, not to be morbid, but to live more fully. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Anxiety often magnifies small things, embarrassment, mistakes, uncertainties. But zoom out. Remember, your time here is limited. Suddenly, that awkward email or slow progress doesn't seem so catastrophic. Instead of fueling fear, the awareness of mortality brings clarity. What really matters? Who really matters? And most of the things that trigger anxiety simply don't make the cut. Here is a Stoic secret weapon against anxiety. Stop obsessing over yourself and start serving others. Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." When you're anxious, your focus shrinks inward. Your worries, your future, your what-ifs. But when you shift that spotlight outward, helping a friend, volunteering, even just listening deeply to someone, you break anxiety's loop. Because in that moment, you're not lost in fear. You're anchored in purpose. And purpose is stronger than panic. Finally, the Stoics practiced something simple yet profound: reflection. Marcus Aurelius literally journaled his thoughts to strengthen his mindset. And in 2025, with life moving at warp speed, reflection is a powerful antidote to anxiety. Before bed, ask yourself, what went well today? What could I handle better tomorrow? What small step forward can I take? This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Each reflection is like a software update for your soul, fixing bugs, improving resilience, and building confidence day by day. So let's recap. Stoicism helps with anxiety in 2025, not by pretending life is easy, but by giving us the tools to handle it with strength and clarity. Control what you can, release what you can't. Return to the present moment. Accept uncertainty as life's price. Reframe fear as training. Limit mental junk food. Practice negative visualization. Detach from external validation. Remember, life is short. Anchor yourself in service. Reflect and realign daily. Anxiety may never vanish completely. It's part of being human. But with Stoicism, it stops being the tyrant running your life and becomes just another voice in the room. A voice you acknowledge, but don't obey. So my friend, the next time anxiety knocks, greet it like an old sparring partner. Say, you again. Let's train. And with every practice, you'll find a little more calm, a little more strength, and a lot more freedom. Now, before you head off into the wild unknown of your day, I'll leave you with this. Which of these Stoic tools spoke to you most? Was it the reminder to live in the present? To let go of control? To serve others? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your reflections. And if this resonated, if it gave you even a sliver of peace in the storm, consider subscribing and sharing. Not for numbers, but because maybe, just maybe, there's someone out there who needs these words tonight. Until our next digital gathering, take a breath, steady your mind, and remember, you are stronger than your anxiety. Cheerio, my fellow Stoic in training.